If you would have asked us 10 years ago what happens after we die, we would have told you we had no idea. It wasn't until we lost our daughter Kenadie that that question became so important and very real to us. And that's how we got to the point that we're at. And this video is just going to talk a little bit about the things we've done and the things we've learned that have helped us get to the answers we're looking for. After we lost Kenadie, we were just desperate for answers. We wanted to know where she went, if she still existed, and if there was any way that we could still be in contact with her. And I think that's something a lot of people go through when they lose somebody. Those are all questions that come up because that loss is so hard that you don't want to feel like they just don't exist anymore. And so we're going to talk about that in this video and the things that we've done that have helped us kind of get the answers we were looking for. And
we're not going to pretend that we have all the answers. In fact, even the story that I'm going to share with you guys, I don't even know why exactly it happened. And you'll see that we're just going to share our experiences and you guys can take it or leave it. But knowing that we still exist after we die, that this isn't the end, is very comforting to us because of our daughter across the veil, but also just because I don't want this to end. Like, I don't want this life to be all that there is to our connection. I don't want to think about that. I would push that away. I was really afraid to die. And I was really afraid of any of my family members dying. It was just hard. And if a grandparent passed away, as hard as that was, it was like, well, at least they got to live a nice long life here. And even if there's nothing after this, at least they got to experience life here on earth. And I could kind of just push it away like, well, that's just natural. That's the way that it's supposed to be. And it wasn't until our 10-year-old daughter passed away that's not natural and that's not the way it's supposed to be. So that forced us to face death head on. And it was like, what now? What does that mean? What does it look like? I wanted to experience it. I wish that I could have, when she passed, I wanted to go with her. It just didn't feel natural for me to still be here and her to be across the veil. Or I didn't know there was a veil. I didn't understand it at all. I thought even if heaven existed and it was 1,000,000 miles away, that wasn't comforting to me. None of that helped me at all. So we dove into near-death experiences is probably the first thing that you found on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube, and there's tons of them on there. There's lots of channels that are completely dedicated to just that, and that was definitely comforting to me in the beginning because it was people who were still here. It's their experiences that they have when they're in between, like they have some accident or something where they leave their body for a certain amount of time and they get a feel and they're actually on the other side or halfway there, whatever happens, and they see things and they experience things. And that was like a really comforting thing to me because that made it seem like, well, it's one of two things. Either these people are hallucinating or they're actually having these experiences and they seem so real and so vivid to them that it definitely seemed real to me and I believed it. And there's like thousands and thousands of them out there that you can listen to. And so that was definitely a big first step for me in getting that, okay, well, we leave our bodies and then it's not all black. Like these people are seeing their bodies still laying there on the ground and they're somewhere else. And they're seeing what's going on. They're seeing people trying to help them and revive them, and they're seeing the ambulance, or they're seeing whatever's going on with their body from a different perspective. And that was like, okay, that really opened my eyes up to like, that makes sense to me that, our body is just a vessel and we leave that behind, but then where do we go? So.
And then they would share, some of them had really elaborate experiences on the other side, and they would meet people or meet their guides or loved ones that have already passed, or Jesus. A lot of people meet Jesus across the veil. And we would hear these stories and it's like, yeah, we didn't feel that people were making them up. We felt like they really believed that it happened. So like you said, it's either a hallucination or it really happened. And there are so many similarities kind of across the board that it was like, what? Why would everybody hallucinate the same thing?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. And then the other thing is that nowadays there's kind of scientific proof now. There's neuroscientists and there's a neurosurgeon. What's the word I'm looking for? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
That he had an experience. And so now he's kind of all about proving that he wasn't hallucinating, that his brain wasn't functioning enough. He was brain dead. So he couldn't have been having those experiences. So now he, goes around and talks about what happened, and he's able to prove it from the scientific, standpoint, which helps the skeptic side of us. We all are human. We all have that skepticism. And so there's a lot coming out that people are able to prove, but also people are just starting to get more comfortable sharing their stories. I mean, some people are sharing stories that happened to them 70 years ago for the first time, because people are now starting to be more open to this sort of experience. And so I just want to share what happened, because like I said, we don't have the answers. We have answers that have supported our beliefs and have filled our heart with lots of hope and proof and things that we have accepted to be our truth.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share my truth.
It's our opinion based on our own experiences and our own journey through looking into all this stuff. So I mean, you take from it what you want, and if it doesn't vibe with you, then that's okay too. So
yeah. So this is just one story. I have lots, but this is a pretty cool story. So my daughter had already crossed over years earlier, and I had been working really hard to learn how to live connected to her, through the years, being nudged, starting with meditation and energy healings. And then I took some mediumship courses and thought maybe I was supposed to be a medium, which I've talked about before. And then realized, no, I'm not supposed to be a medium. Like, that's not my calling. But I was able to learn how to connect with people's loved ones across the veil. So while I was doing that, and I was doing readings for people at the time and practicing, and they were able to give me proof. So I would connect with someone, I would get evidence, I would give it to the person that I was doing the reading for, and they would say, oh my gosh, that is my grandma, because so-and-so. They would be able to prove to me that it was real, because it's hard to believe when you're doing it that it's all real. So that had already happened. And then something in our community occurred where a young woman, and I'm going to change names and things to keep this private and anonymous, but a young woman in our community passed away in an accident, and it was very quick, and she was an acquaintance of our family, but I didn't know her personally very well. And it was, I believe, just a day after her passing that I was taking a shower, which a lot of people feel the same way that I do, that you get really connected for some reason while you're showering. I don't know if it's the water or if it's just kind of a meditative state that you get in. I'm not sure, but a lot of really miraculous connections and things have happened while I'm just washing my hair. So I'm taking a shower and I feel the presence of this girl, and I knew right away that it was her, even though I didn't really know her very well when she was here still on Earth. And I could feel that she was there with Kenadie, that they were standing next to each other. And it was hard to believe. I remember coming out of the shower and telling you, like, why is she coming to me? I don't understand. And I started going through, am I supposed to go and talk to her mom? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I just felt like that wasn't the right thing to do. Even if messages were coming through, it just didn't feel appropriate. And I would never want to accidentally bring pain to a family that's suffering like that. So I even told her that right away. She kept coming day after day. And just throughout the day, I'd be doing the dishes and I'd feel her right there. And I would say, I'm not doing that unless, if her mom came to me and if something magical happened that lined up where I knew I was supposed to give her a message, I would have. But not knowing what their beliefs were, and it's hard to describe,
you
but
just
I
can't.
knew it wasn't appropriate to do that. So I had to follow my heart on that. Even if there's people out there that are like, why wouldn't you go and talk to her? That would have been so comforting. I knew in my heart that it wasn't the right thing to do for their family.
Yeah, it's only comforting if they're looking for that.
Yeah,
Time,
because not everybody believes the same way that we do, and there's
not everybody would believe in you.
Yeah.
That it's actually real. You know. What
Yeah.
I mean? So it's just
So I just knew that I couldn't do that. So then I was like, I'm not going to go and talk to your mom. So why are you coming to me? That was kind of the vibe, and it just happened day after day. I just kept feeling her there, and then I dream of her. I mean, I'd be driving down the road, and there she was. I mean, it was just constant. And I was kind of overwhelmed because I was putting this pressure on myself that there was something that I was supposed to do. And then I was just walking on my treadmill. It's so random. I was just walking on my treadmill, and I felt Kenadie and this girl, I'm going to call her Sarah. And they were like, can we go for this walk with you? And I was like, okay. So then I just was envisioning that we were like, I don't know, walking in the woods or something. And we were going for a walk, and then Kenadie wanted to explain to me, because I said, why are you here? Why do you keep coming? Like, I'm fine with it, but I'm confused. And Kenadie let me know why she was there and why Kenadie had brought this girl to me. And she told me that she wanted to show this girl who had passed away at such a young age, and it was just so quick, what connection could still look like with her family. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then she said, and I mean, I'm hearing this all in my head, but it's like this full-on conversation. And she said, Mom, she wants, this is going to make me emotional. I told him before the video, like, I'm not going to cry in this one. I'm going to keep this one light. She wanted to know what it felt like to be able to hug someone that was still here on earth. And so she asked if she could give me a hug. And I was like, yeah, of course. Obviously, I stopped the treadmill. I'm just sitting on the bed in the room. And I said, of course, hon, you can give me a hug as much as for however long you want. And I could feel, my eyes were closed, and I could feel her wrap her arms around me. It was so sweet. And I told her that she could come back and visit me whenever she wanted another hug. And what was interesting is that was kind of it. That was basically the end of our connection, except one more time. And it was actually the next day. And I'm in the shower again, and I'm talking to her, and I said, I need a little bit of proof that this is all real, because this is where my mind goes. In the moment, it was so real. I could feel her give me a hug, and I was crying, and I just felt so happy to be able to hug her like that. But then the next day I'm like, did I make all that up in my head? And so I'm showering, and I felt connected to her, and I said, I need a little bit of proof. And she told me that her name is, that her middle name's Amelia. And again, I'm making the name up, but she told me her middle name, and I thought, okay, I guess when I get out of the shower, I can Google her, and I couldn't find her middle name online. The obituary hadn't even come out yet. There was nothing that had her middle name attached to it. So I wasn't able to prove that to myself. So I just start getting ready for the day. I'm drying my hair or something, and a text comes through, and it was her friend that we know. And her friend says to me in the text, I want you to listen to this song. I just heard it for the first time. It's freaking me out because of how much it's making me think of Sarah. And she was like, in the song title is called Amelia, and that's Sarah's middle name. And I was like, oh my gosh. And, I just knew. And that was the last time that I ever felt connected to her. And what I want to say about that is that it's a little bit confusing to me, because I think that when we cross over, we just know things. We have the higher perspective. We have shed our human filter. So we know everything once we cross over. So I would think that Sarah would already know what connection would feel like, Do you know what I mean? Like, she knows everything.
Right.
So then why was that experience more for me? Or, did she really need to be shown what that, did that somehow comfort her on a soul level? It's like, oh, I can still hug my mom. Like, my mom's going to learn how to do this too. Or I don't...
Just knowing that it's possible, maybe yeah.
But, like, shouldn't she already know that it's possible?
Like a practice run? Well, I don't know. I think you learn things there like you learn things here sometimes too, maybe, you know what I mean? I don't think you're all knowing, otherwise you're never growing, So I think there are beings on that realm that are all knowing, whatever you want to, what's the, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a higher, yes.
Yes. There's a word for it, like an enlightened being, but it's like a
master or whatever.
Like what Jesus maybe is, or you know what I mean?
Or
like
angels.
Angels and those beings that are just the ones that probably are staying there, maybe, I don't know.
Right.
And that aren't coming here to learn and experience things. Maybe they've done it all already. So I think there's levels.
Maybe.
I don't know for sure.
Then maybe, like, I think part of Kenadie's purpose now is to teach people how to live connected through us. I think that's her. So maybe that's part of Sarah's journey too. Mm-hmm. And maybe that was Kenadie, like, I'm just talking this through right now, but maybe that was Kenadie showing her, like, now you get to guide your family and I'll show you what that looks like. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know.
And the trick to that, like, not to go off on a completely different subject or tangent with this, but the trick with that too is, they are there to do a job and maybe to guide people to connection and things like that. But the reason that we're doing all of this is because us, the people here, have to be willing to do it and have to be open to it. So, you know what I mean? So I think that's why Kenadie's working on it from that side. That's just what we believe. And why we're doing this is because we're working on it from this side, because we can talk to all you guys and we can share all these experiences and put all this stuff out into the world. So us as humans can see it and can take it all in and do what you want with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, like we were talking in the beginning of the video, like 10 years ago, you asked us what happens after we die. We would have been like, I don't know. Sure scary if there's nothing though. You know what I mean? That's right. The extent of it. I hope there's something. Like, it'd be a bummer if it's just, that's it. But you wouldn't know, if it's just over.
Yeah.
But that's how a lot of us are going through our lives. And sometimes it takes something really hard or a really big moment in our lives, a tragic thing, to wake us up a little bit and just have us start searching for these things that are probably important for our growth as humans while we're here,
Yeah, and if it can take away a little bit of that fear of the unknown or fear of death, like these people seem like, I swear we're normal. Like, we are just so average. Like, just, I don't know. I feel like we're really average people that didn't have any sort of spiritual background or, we have no agenda here. Like, to come out and to share these stories is actually harder than you would imagine. Like, we have a difficult time with it sometimes.
Well, you're opening yourself up to a lot of criticism and a lot of negativity to talk about these things and
that are so sacred to you.
Yeah.
Like, these are like that. I couldn't tell it without crying, because that moment, I can go back to that moment like that in my mind and like feel what it felt like to hug her and feel, I don't know. It's like, I'm so grateful for that moment. And that moment only exists because I was open to it, because I believed that it was possible. And so that's what I want, or what I'm hoping, that the people that see this video are meant to see it, because they're meant to open up in their own way and believe what they want to believe in. And even if it's something that is totally different than our belief, I'm okay with that. But maybe this just helps you get on your own journey and your own path, because it changed my life in such a positive way, living more connected. So I don't think that living connected looks the same for everybody. You live connected differently than I live connected. Mm-hmm. And there's things that we do together, but there's a lot of stuff that we do separately. Yeah. And I think that's really important. We're going to keep sharing these videos, and we're going to really start focusing more on what we're doing to live connected so that you guys can practice with it. For anybody that wants to practice the way that we're doing it, and Shane might show you a different way, something that he's doing different, and I'll show you something, and we'll do the best that we can to live connected beside all of you.
Yeah. And that being said, like she was saying, we're just normal people. We have jobs and we work like you guys, and we have kids and we're busy and we have life and things to do. So it's not like every second of every day we're living our lives this way. It's just we're doing it as often as we can throughout our day and throughout our lives. It's like there's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like there's some pressure that we're becoming some spiritual gurus or something like that. We're just like you guys. We're busy. We have family. We have priority. We have obligations, things like that. So,
and we can go days without feeling connected.
yeah, or we just don't feel like it sometimes.
Yeah, and we're like, wow, we're so disconnected right now.
Yeah, like honestly, I'll be honest, like this last week or so, I've kind of been like a little bit of a darker place in my mind I'm trying to get out of, just because life happens and things happen and it just wears on you after a while, and that's okay. Like you go through those times.
Those heavy times.
Where it's just like, oh, and you know it, and you're just not, you're not trying to be in a bad mood, or you're not trying to feel a certain way, but you can't help it because those are human emotions. So this isn't like we're living some elevated life that we don't have the problems you guys have because we're doing these things. It's just like we're just trying to live our lives the best we can and incorporate these things into it because it really helps, you know?
Yeah, and so don't get down on yourself if you've been trying to do this stuff. Like this video pops up because you watch other spiritual type stuff, which we don't even like, whatever, call it whatever you want. But you've been watching other videos and you're trying to live more connected, or you're trying to become, you know, more enlightened in some way because you think that will help your soul. And you watch this video and you're like, wow, these people really have it all figured out and they went through something really hard and I should have it more figured out. And no, we don't have it all figured out. We're just sharing what works for us on this day or this moment. And we have to go back to that all the time. So we're just trying to give you the tools so that you've got them in your back pocket for your low day and your dark day and your those heavy moments, because we all have them no matter what you're going through.
Yeah.
You've got heavy moments around jobs, finances, you know, family stuff, whatever, relationships. There's heaviness.
Yeah, life can be hard. It just is. It's going to be. You know, I mean, we argue over dumb things to this day, off and on, that just because, you know.
Always his fault.
Yeah, always. It's always on me. I'm always the first to apologize to you.
Oh my gosh. That's another video.
Yeah, but no, I mean, just normal life things, you know, that go on. And I don't know, we're just rambling on and on kind of here about this part of it. But we're really trying to emphasize that this is just real life for us. And we're just normal people like you guys. And these are the things that we are learning are important to us, and they might not be for everybody, and that's okay because everybody's living life the way they want, and that's what really matters. So,
yeah, I think the last thing that I want to say, and then we'll cut it off here, but I think what point I want to get across is that if you're watching this video and you're thinking, wow, Rachel had a really magical experience and I will never have that experience because I'm not living as connected as her. That's what we're trying to get across, is that I am so average that if I can connect to loved ones across the veil or to angels or guides or Jesus, which I've shared about multiple times, you can. That's what, if you want to.
And she does those things and she does the training to do those things. I don't do those things. But I still do things in my way. So that's what we want for you guys. Is find your way. Do it your way. Figure out how you want to do it. And one last thing, like for me as a guy, like the word spirituality and like all this stuff, I'll be honest, it feels like a feminine thing for some reason. I mean, don't you agree? Like that it has that energy behind it or whatever, like when you think about the things that we're doing. So It's hard, like for a man, the way our brains work and stuff, sometimes it's probably hard to be like, to call I don't even know the right word to use, but.
Like he wouldn't resonate with like, I'm going to go get woo-woo today. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that I even resonate with that, but
Right.
that's like a big thing that people talk about is like woo-woo practice.
Just the whole movement behind it. I mean, there's men that are doing spirituality stuff too, but I just mean for like a normal guy like me who's not introduced to it at all, who's trying to like figure it out, when you have these concepts in your brain of maybe what those things are and what a real man's supposed to be doing and not doing. I mean, I'm just being honest here that those are like difficult things. So for me, I had to find my own way. Like, I didn't want to go do a mediumship training like you wanted to go do, and I didn't have a desire to go do
become an energy
become
healing
an energy
master.
healer or do Reiki or stuff. That stuff is awesome, and I believe in it, and I think it's really cool, but it wasn't calling to me. So I do things a different way, and I go to other people to get those other things that are helpful. So
Yeah, and we're going to keep sharing about all of that. So I guess that's
Yeah.
kind of where we were going
Yeah,
with
so
this.
we'll just wrap it up. And this isn't the only video that we're going to talk about what happens after we die, because there's just so much to talk about just in that one topic. So
Yeah, for sure.
probably call that it for now. But
Yeah, our Living Connected for 11-minute video that goes 30 minutes.
yeah,
Always.
I blame you. But
I'll take the blame on that one.
no. But anyway, if you guys want to listen to more content like this, we're going to do more videos on this subject and other topics, and we're just going to keep them coming. So just subscribe.
And have more
if-
practices too.
Yeah, and more stuff for you guys to try mixed in. Things like, we're trying to figure it all out. We have a lot going on right now. We have a community that we launched. There's other social media stuff. There's YouTube. Plus we have a family and work and trying to make ends meet.
I'm doing private sessions for people now.
Yeah, we have a crystal shop. We have all kinds with merch.
Yeah, we're selling crystals.
Yeah, so we have a lot going on. So it's a little bit overwhelming sometimes to like feel like you're not pouring enough energy into one thing. But we think YouTube is super important, and we love being on here. So we appreciate you guys. We're going to wrap it up. So anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video. We just want to take a quick minute to talk about our 411 community that we launched recently.
This is a space that we wished existed after our daughter Kenadie passed away. Inside is everything that we've learned about in these last 8 years about living connected to our daughter across the veil and to the rest of our spirit team that's just waiting to help us. And we have found out that everybody can live connected. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can check out the community at 411together.com. It's something that we wanted to make accessible to everybody that's out there.
There is a cost. It's only $4.11 per month. Just to keep that program rolling. If you guys want to check it out, we appreciate it so much, even if you just want to look into it. We think it's a really valuable tool. You can also follow all of our free content here on YouTube or on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We also have a free guide that we're offering that you can find
down in the description with all the other links. Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it more than you guys know.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys a ton. We couldn't do this without you.